This fourth tutorial gives an overview of the datasets included in the pairfam scientific use file available to the scientific community. How are the pairfam datasets stored? The pairfam data is stored in separate cross-sectional datasets per wave and per respondent type. They are completely anonymized so that individual respondents cannot be identified. We provide the datasets in both Stata and SPSS format, with German and English variable labels. The label language can be changed in Stata with the command label lang, followed by the abbreviated language EN for English and the E for German. Which datasets are available? In Wave 1 of the study, both anchor and partner data were collected. These datasets are named Anchor 1 and Partner 1 respectively. Data from the Anchor and Partner surveys of Wave 2 are named Anchor 2 and Partner 2. And so on for each consecutive wave. In Wave 2, Anchor respondents' parents and children were also surveyed, and their data is saved as the datasets Parent 2 and Child 2. The parent survey was discontinued after Wave 8, therefore only Parent 2 to Parent 8 exist. Furthermore, from Wave 2 onwards, anchors and their partners received a paper parenting questionnaire, including questions regarding the parenting of their children up to the age of 15, parenting 2, etc. Please note that for Waves 12 and 13, due to methodological changes caused by the COVID-19 pandemic, the anchor and child datasets are divided according to survey mode, so that separate KP and KT datasets are included. The PAR datasets, available for Waves 9 to 13, contain parenting data from both anchor respondents and their partners. The Parenting U6 partner datasets, available for Waves 11 to 13, contain information from partner interviews about children under the age of 6. For Waves 1 and 2, data of the Demodif subsample is stored in separate datasets, recognizable by the suffix dd. From Wave 3 on, the Demodif subsample was completely integrated into the pairfam data. From Wave 4 onwards, the step-up anchor datasets contain data from former child respondents who reached the age of 15 and were integrated into the anchor survey. From Wave 4 to 8, these step-up respondents also received an additional paper questionnaire in the first wave of participation as an anchor respondent, covering retrospective questions. This dataset is stored in the respective step-up transition anchor datasets. From Wave 9 onwards, this transition module was incorporated into the Anchor KP survey as an add-on module for first-time anchor respondents, and data from these interviews are stored in a combined dataset named Step-Up Anchor Plus Transition. Data from Step-Up respondents' partners are stored in the datasets Step-Up Partner 4 to 13. Also available are Step-Up Parenting U6 partner datasets from Wave 11 to Wave 13. All Step-Up datasets are stored in a separate folder in the scientific use file. Why are there separate Demodif datasets for Wave 1 and Wave 2? As previously mentioned, Demodif began as a separate project and was later integrated into pairfam from Wave 5. Up until Wave 4, only partners of Demodif respondents were surveyed, not their parents and children. After the integration of Demodif into pairfam in Wave 5 onwards, all available ALTERI were surveyed. The Demodif questionnaire was largely similar to the pairfam questionnaire. However, Demodif began 1 year after pairfam. While pairfam's first wave took place at the end of 2008, the beginning of 2009, Wave 1 of Demodif took place in 2009-2010. In order to integrate Demodif respondents into the pairfam rhythm, Demodif skipped its second wave and instead implemented the pairfam Wave 3 questionnaire, including the retrospective childhood history module from Wave 2. The retrospective childhood history module is stored as anchor2/dd. Due to the complexity of the integration, pairfam and Demodif datasets are separate for Waves 1 and 2. The Demodif Wave 1 partner dataset is also stored separately as partner1/dd. From Wave 3 onward, pairfam and Demodif data are delivered in one integrated dataset, differentiated by the variable Demodif. Design weights are available for the different samples, as well as combined weights that allow for analyses of the full dataset. Missing and additional variables both in the pairfam and Demodif data are marked with the missing codes -10 and -11. Detailed documentation of the differences between pairfam and Demodif, their integration and weighting procedures can be found in the data manual. What are the generated datasets? Information on anchor respondents' life history domains, as well as their parents, are compiled into separate user-friendly datasets that allow for a more convenient analysis of biographical information. These generated datasets combine retrospective and prospective information across all survey waves. The data is stored in long format, meaning one row for each episode, for example, one row for each partnership. The following datasets were generated to facilitate analyses. BioAct contains monthly information on educational and occupational activities from the month of the respondent's first interview. BioAct RTR covers retrospective information collected in Wave 3 on the anchor respondent's education and occupation from the age of 18. The dataset BioChild is a panel dataset that includes additional retrospective episode data collected in Wave 1, covering births to anchor respondents and their cohabitation episodes with children. The BioMob datasets are panel datasets with both prospective and retrospective information on anchor respondents' mobility, residences, and moves. BioParent provides prospective and retrospective biographical data for the anchor respondents' parents, while BioPart covers all partnerships from the age of 14. The dataset Household is a panel dataset containing information on the anchor respondents' residents and household members at the time of the interview for Waves 1 to 3 only. The Dataset Overview Multi-Actor provides an overview of all alternate respondent participation in the partner, child, parenting, and parent surveys in each survey wave. The generation of these datasets is described in detail in the data manual, and the syntax for their generation is included in the scientific use file. To illustrate the differences between the survey and generated datasets, let's have a look at the generated dataset BioPart. The anchor datasets of Wave 3 and Wave 4 include the following information. ID is the person identifier for the anchor respondent, and PID is the partner identifier. EHC2P1 and EHC2P2 provide information on the anchor respondent's relationship status with partner 1 and partner 2 respectively at the time of the interview. Here, this particular anchor respondent was in a relationship with partner 1 in Wave 3, who had the partner ID 96101. A second partner did not exist, resulting in the missing code -3 for the variable EHC2P2. In Wave 4, the anchor respondent was no longer in a relationship with partner 1 and reported a new partner, partner 2, who was allocated the PID 96102. Now let's have a look how this information is presented in the BioPart datasets. We can see that the anchor respondent with the ID 96000 reported 4 different partnerships. Each relationship is stored in a different row. The first two partners do not have a PID, indicating that these relationships took place before the first interview. All partnerships from age 14 up until the first interview were retrospectively recorded in an add-on module and integrated into the biopart dataset. Partners reported during the panel have a PID. Here, the third partner has the PID 96101 and was listed as the anchor respondent's current partner in wave 3, which is visible in the variable part_cur W3. The fourth partner with the PID 96102 was in a relationship with the anchor respondent in wave 4, stored in the variable part_cur W4. The variable relback contains the month of the start of each relationship. In order to facilitate duration calculations, dates within generated datasets are stored as a combination of both month and year as numerical values, representing the number of months that have passed since January 1900. A helpful description of how to convert this information into the original month and year is included in the data manual. Are there any additional datasets? Several special surveys and satellite projects were conducted throughout the panel, alongside the standard questionnaires, and this data is also delivered as part of the scientific use file. For example, the standard anchor questionnaire for waves 1 to 7 entails questions about reasons for not having children or additional children. In wave 8, an additional qualitative audio recording covering this topic was introduced. These recordings were transcribed with the MaxQDA software and are saved in the dataset Anchor 8 CARI. Details on the coding strategy are available in technical paper number 10. In wave 10, a factorial survey experiment with vignettes was conducted within the KZ section of the Anchor questionnaire to evaluate the division of housework and paid labor in 3 hypothetical partnerships. The goal of this sub-study was to explain gendered work distributions within couples by disentangling how individual dimensions, such as financial resources, gender, and family status, influence evaluations of fairness. Detailed information on this vignette study are available in technical paper number 14. In wave 11, a factorial survey experiment focusing on infidelity in intimate relationships was implemented. Further information on this vignette study are available in technical paper number 18. Wave 12 included a factorial survey experiment examining normative judgments of work-care arrangements. The study focused on the combination of mothers' and fathers' employment and use of daycare for their children. A detailed description of the study is available in technical paper number 19. The Implicit Motives project was a satellite project that ran from 2016 to 2019. The goal of the project was to research the interplay of partner-related explicit and implicit motive dispositions with relationship quality in German couple relationships. Data and documentation are stored in a separate folder within the scientific use file. Are there additional para-datasets available? We added information on the survey process and the interviewer to the dataset for all valid and completed interviews. In addition, the paradata directory in the scientific use file contains the gross anchor dataset and anchor timestamps and duration. The gross dataset includes all cases contacted for an additional interview. The following fieldwork information is provided: number of contact attempts, interviewer identification numbers, information on the place of residence, final processing status, and interview mode. The dataset's time and duration contain information on the interview day, timestamps, and duration of individual modules. Please note that these are raw datasets that have not been reviewed or processed. Further information is included in the data manual. This was a brief description of all the available datasets included in the pairfam scientific use file. The next tutorial will discuss available variable types and their naming convention.